Don't pre all over your khakis just yet. This is merely a step back. This is not necessarily a win.
Whoa!
Hello, good day, good evening, gents and gentle lasses. What we have to talk about today is parental advisory warnings for old content. Now, we have seen this and we have talked about this. We have railed about this for quite a long time, how they have been editing the original releases of beloved childhood classics and films that we used to watch, and instead editing them down, taking out certain things that they deemed as problematic and putting an advisory warning in there in front of it. Disney has been one of the ones that has been the most egregious at it, and they have changed, but it's not the change that you might think it is. So let's go into this real quick. So Disney Plus is changing the content warnings ahead of Dumbo, Peter Pan, and more old movies amid this strategy shift because of the election and because it's just constantly been failing. But why I say that this is not necessarily a win, and we'll go into it a little bit more because they're going to say it bluntly and out front. All they're doing is reverting to a tamer version of what they did when they first started rolling these out in the first place. So they're adjusting the content warnings, and as first reported by Axios and confirmed by Variety, like anybody cares, Disney is changing these disclaimers that autoplay before the titles. The previous version said that they include negative depictions and or mistreatment of people or cultures. And now the new one says this program is presented as originally created and may contain stereotypes or negative depictions. Now, I remember watching a bunch of movies and TV shows back in the day, just on broadcast cable. There would be stuff like that if it was R-rated content, but they're doing this to G-rated movies. So therein lies a big problem with me. I mean, there's so many problems about this in the first place, but that's a huge problem. I understand it if your kids are just watching TV, flipping through a channel, and an R-rated movie comes in. It's like, okay, so we're gonna have to bleep out the swear words, like maybe have to cut down some violence, but these themes are still in the film. It's a G-rated movie. It's a cartoon classic that multiple generations have grown up with. Now the fact that they have to say, oh no, we want to be inclusive, but also we have to show it because we've been strangled into submission, at least for a point, until we let up that grasp and the blood starts to go to their brain again. They start to breathe oxygen again. This is going to come back if in any way possible that they can make it happen. Believe that. So we're all going back to November 2019. It was a dark and stormy night. Disney first added content warnings to movies such as Dumbo due to racist depictions found in the films. You could say that. You could also say it was just a sign of the times. I didn't see anybody with red lipstick on, but then again, it's been a long time since I've watched the original Dumbo. This program is presented as originally created. This is the 2019 slogan. It may contain outdated cultural depictions. Now, even though that's laughable to put in there in the first place, at least that is extremely tame. But it got even worse. And this kind of shows you, okay, so in retrospect, to people who don't realize the slippery slope or don't pay attention to that much, because every little inch it becomes longer and longer and longer. And by the time you finally turn around and look, you realize how far you've made it away from where it originally started. Disney changed the wording in October of 2020 to the longer content warning, and this one is a doozy. This program includes negative depictions and or mistreatment of people or cultures. These stereotypes were wrong then and are wrong now. Rather than remove this content, we want to acknowledge its harmful impact, learn from it, and spark conversation to create a more inclusive future together. Good Lord, are we done with this yet? Disney is committed to creating stories with inspirational and aspirational themes that reflect the rich diversity of the human experience around the globe. Whew. All right, I think everyone needs a smoke break and a pee break after that one. And that's just before you go back to watch Snow White or Beauty and the Beast or Dumbo or Peter Pan. By the way, Peter Pan's freaking awesome. I'm a Redskin. I could say it. And this is where this entire movement inherently fails, because when you try to include everyone around the globe, you realize these people don't even include themselves. Some of these countries, they eat themselves. Some of these countries are at war with other countries. Every country, most countries have their own separate culture, and not all cultures are inclusive. We're trying too hard. They have been trying way too hard to not offend anybody, to the point that now offends everyone, because we can't, they don't want us to think. But the reason why people are waking up, because there's like, I can't even think. I can't even have a normal conversation. I can't even make a joke because you tried to condition me like a beaten puppy into, what about those feelings? What about these feelings? What about my own feelings? What about how I think? How are you going to foster creativity if you constantly batten down the hatches and nix anything that comes out of it, whether they be questions? It's okay to question. It's actually what made the greatest artists of their times. They were pontificators. They questioned things, and they came up with wild scenarios. Fuck you, Disney. I have to say it one more time before I go on from this. But now it has reverted the content warning back to a version of the one inserted in 2019. Not the milquetoast version that they put in 2019. As bad as that was, as laughable as it was, that was certainly milquetoast. They haven't even gone back to the milquetoast ones. No, it's just a version of it, which I will remind you in case you forgot from the beginning of this article. What they reverted to is this program is presented as originally created and may contain stereotypes or negative depictions. All right. So there we have it. A battle may have been won in the short term. This is nowhere. I do not consider this in any way a victory. What I see it is that they're tucking their tail and they're going back for reinforcements. They're just laying in wait, and they're going to siege until we give up, until we take these little things as victories and stop trying, stop putting in so much effort, and they will come back with a stronger force. That's how I feel about all of this. They're just making some concessions to ease us and catch us off guard. What do you guys think about this? I think it's bullshit in the first place. But if you have anything else to say about it, what do y'all guys think about it? Leave it down in the comment section below. This is Multi from the GCA. We hope you have a great day, a great evening. Watch everything as it was originally created, whether it offends you or not. Watch the art for how the art was meant to be taken and consumed and enjoyed and talked about and even get angry about. That's what fucking makes film so good. That's what makes this whole entire sphere of the liberal arts. Yes, it's just art and culture and pop phenomenons and everything like that. Film, TV, books, comic books, all of that stuff. It's meant to challenge the brain and to inspire imagination. Inspiration is the key, and you can't have that whenever it's fucking being censored all the time. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Fuck that shit. Y'all have a great day, but I do love y'all. Take care.